Hey guys, this is Ray, one of your hosts from the Elated Egos Podcast. I'm here to say that the audio for part 1 and the first few parts, the first few minutes of part 2 are a little lower quality. This is due to our computer actually using the wrong microphone. It used the microphone within it instead of the nice mic I have to record that I'm using right now. It's still totally good. It's just lower quality, and you'll hear a bump in the quality in part 2. Please forgive me for this. I'll try to make sure it doesn't happen in the future. Enjoy the show, guys. Welcome to the Elated Egos Podcast with Micheal and Ray. This week's podcast is on relationships, why we have them, and how not to be a dick. Welcome to the Ego.
Like, you would say something, and then I'd be like, oh, yeah, and then I would get my input on it.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
You know we're recording right now, actually.
Oh. Hello.
Hi, welcome to the Ego. That's us being idiots. This week's topic is relationships, as you heard in the intro. We're going to be doing it a little bit differently this week. We're going to split up the podcast into 4 main topics, and we're going to post each topic on a specific day. The first one Monday, second one Tuesday, third one Wednesday, yada yada, until Thursday. On Friday, we're going to upload the entire podcast. By then, we should have a SoundCloud going, so you can listen to it entirely on a SoundCloud account and not have to care, which is going to be awesome. So let's just jump right in it. Relationships. Michael.
Well, my take on relationships, I have many different types of relationships, and there is a lot of different types. Like, there's, Raymond said a little bit ago, there's a couple of relationships where you're just there for, like, basically business, strategic relationships, and you got family relationship, friend relationships, and sometimes friends are considered family, so, I mean, they're kind of in both in the same category sometimes, and, like, actual girlfriend relationships.
Or boyfriend.
Or boyfriend.
You know, Adrian from our special guest last week, him and his boyfriends.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I'm the third one.
I don't know what I am. I just know I'm a side hoe.
Yeah, side hoes for life. But yeah, the first relationship that we're gonna do is friend relationships. You know, people really don't think of that like a relationship a lot of time. They just like, oh, friendships are the people you hang out with who are pretty cool. I think friends are a little bit more special than just like that guy you hang out with or that girl that you see on like the weekends and talk to.
Or like just somebody you talk to in class.
Yeah, like from our perspective as like school kids, you know, that one kid you talk to in class. I think friends is a little bit deeper than just, you know, Joe Schmo and chemistry that you have to talk to.
I have a funny story about that. Well, it's kind of rude of me. I didn't mean to. So I was working at Kroger, and my friend Michael he's not my friend, but he's Michael Masters. That was his auction. But,
Oh well.
So we were working one day, and I was talking about how a lot of my friends benefit me. Like, for instance, one of my close friends, like, I always have a house to go to. Like, if I ever need him, I just go to his house whenever. And he asked me, how do I benefit you? And he was my coworker, not really my friend. And I said, "You're not really a friend. You're more of a work friend." And it's a lot of people like don't look at friends. They think friends is just somebody you just talk to. Well, me, I think it's like a schoolmate is like different from a friend. Like a friend is somebody you talk to and hang out with. So, for instance,
someone you make time for.
So now, like, I have to train myself with some people to like call them my friend, even though I know they're not really my friend. They're just somebody I talk to during school.
Yeah, it's more that social term. Like, oh yeah, he's my friend. Me and him are cool.
Yeah.
You know, we sometimes we talk during like tutorials or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, there's a lot of people that I talk to in school that, like, I really don't consider my friend. I just consider them, like, you know, he's a cool guy or she's a cool girl, but I'm not really, like, there's no close connection or anything.
Yeah.
You know, as Michael was saying, there has to be, like, there has to be a benefit to it to be your friend. And I think when it comes to, like, a friend levels of relationship, that benefit is that you two synergize with each other and you two have a great time with each other, and generally when y'all two are around, y'all have a better time. Like, that's the benefit. It's like they make experiences better, they make it more interesting, whether that's, you know, by just jacking around in an abandoned parking lot or having like intelligent conversations in an abandoned parking lot.
And we may or may not be in an abandoned parking lot.
We may or may not be trespassing right now.
Maybe.
You don't know. You don't know. We could be recording in a canyon right now from all that echo.
I'm on a mountain.
I'm on a mountain. Ain't no mountain high enough. Alright, let's get back on subject. But yeah, friend relationships are something that I think are a little bit higher than just like Joe Schmo.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through a lot of friends. I've moved several times throughout my life. Most of it was during elementary school. But the thing about elementary school is that that's when you start getting friends that you'll have for the rest of your school career. Well, high school is more friends through the rest of your life. But through that, I learned how to make, acquaintances quickly, and I could figure out who would be a good person to actually be a friend through that little crazy turmoil that was the first 5 years of my education. But I've had a lot of friends recently. How I see it, I usually have one, best friend, just one best friend, and then I have my other friends who are still very close to me, but I don't even come close to hanging out with them as I do this one person.
Me too. Like with Noah or...
It's cool. As long as we don't say last names, we're good.
Okay. With my friend Noah, don't be sure not to just hang out with that best friend only. Because my problem was, my best friend Noah, he did all the work for me. I never had to make friends. My friends were always his friends that he met. Or was his friends. I kind of lost my identity in a way. So now I'm kind of just trying to take a break and try to gain my identity back and make my own friends. Because he would always bring people around, and I would just kind of cling on or be friends with them and try to do that. But the crappy part about that was, they weren't really my friends. Let's say I stopped talking to Noah, they wouldn't try to reconnect with me and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" Try to hang out with me. They were Noah's friends, never my friends. I just kind of talked to them, and they talked to me because it would be rude if they didn't. And I didn't figure that out till this year because I'm stupid. But yeah.
And kind of a similar thing when it comes to identity. I had a friend. We're no longer on talking terms now because he kind of pissed me off for really annoying reasons. But me for about 2.25 years, me and him were best friends. We'd hang out on the weekends. We'd hang out after school. We'd talk during lunch. We'd just discuss all types of things. We'd discuss politics. We'd just have fun with each other. We'd do drugs with each other and shit, And in a way, my identity of myself was, I'm best friends with this guy, and me and him are a pair. That's just how it is. And I really didn't start getting that perception until about a year into, the friend relationship. But once I lost that friend relationship, I felt like there was a little bit of a void in my heart. As sad as that sounds, you're a pathetic human being. But, friends mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
You need them to have a happy life. And to be honest, I still kind of wish I was friends with this guy, but...
At least you're moving on.
Yeah. I feel like I've moved on a lot, but I'm still kind of man, I wish it didn't go down that road.
Yeah, I feel that. Because when I tried to unfriend my friend who was doing all the work for me, and it's really, really hard, because, I've been friends with him since, 4 or 5 years, and it's weird not hanging out with him, or trying not to hang out with him. You're just I kind of want to hang out with him. You just remember all the good memories you had with each other, so you're just, that'd be cool if we can reconnect like that. But you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Sometimes you just have to make a judgment call and see who your real friends are and who aren't. And for that friend that I'm no longer friends with, he was the guy I'd always talk about pharmacological stuff with. He was the only guy who I felt was smart enough at the time that I could have a serious, intelligent discussion on drugs and stuff. Because drugs are my passion. I want to become a pharmacologist.
He was known as the drug dictionary.
Basically, I am the pharmacological encyclopedia at the school. But he was the only person I could really have serious conversations with that because we both knew how certain drugs worked, how they worked in the brain, what receptors they hit, and how their mechanism of action like was on a deeper intercellular level that pretty much no high schooler even has an idea about. I mean, most people understand it as like, oh, you take this and you feel this way. Well, me and this friend, we'd have a conversations and we would basically teach each other how things worked. And I mean, our conversations weren't just limited to that. We talked about politics, about religion and stuff. Like we were very intellectual talkers, but he was the only person that I could talk to about that one subject. And once again, when he left, not really left, but when he kind of like separated from me, it did take a toll on me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would too. I would feel the same. But I remember he told me one time it was y'all's hobby.
Yeah.
But then he had a bad trip, and he wouldn't dare touch it again.
Yeah, but that was a year afterwards, though.
Yeah. He still wouldn't even.
Yeah, I wish he would have told me that the bad trip like offset him for everything.
I was there. He like started screaming like he was being murdered.
Yeah.
I was actually scared that day because I remember we were mad at each other, and I honestly thought he was going to kill me.
Yeah.
Because everybody has that look. That look when you look at them, you're like, oh shit, I fucked up. And like he would rarely do that to me. He did it like once, and that was because he hit me and I grabbed his hand. But anyway, he gave me that look and it scared the shit out of me. But he gave that look to me like 4 times on his bad trip, and I was like, holy fuck, he's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
And so
I knew he went through a tough time, but he never really explained how bad it was.
Like, did he tell you the story?
He kind of did. He said he was at the beach. He took some.
No, that wasn't even the bad trip.
That wasn't the thing?
No, that was just one of the. He was just feeling crappy that day. No, he had a bad trip.
Oh, I didn't even know about this one.
No, he was. He took icy or the what was it, 25i. He took 25i, and he was just laying there, and all of a sudden he starts screaming like on the top of his lungs, like he was being murdered or something.
He never told me about this.
No, okay, I'll tell you. So that happened, and he told me the story. Okay, so he was having a tough time with me and Noah because me and Noah were going down a dark path. Like I said, I was like Noah at one point, and we were just being complete dumbasses, and it was pissing him off. Like me and Noah really did something messed up to him, and I really feel bad. We stole things of his because it was there. We were mad at him. I paid him back because I felt horrible. Noah hasn't paid him back, but anyway, so I really did feel like a shitty friend. He was in a bad place with us. He shouldn't have done anything, and so his trip was he was in the house still, okay? So he felt like he was still here, but it was a dream. He was sleeping on the ground. And he goes to the garage with me and Noah because me and Noah were going to go smoke. And he trips and falls on there's a car in Noah's garage, and there's a window with the door open, and he tripped and fell on the glass window, and it spliced his head in half. And then that killed him, and he says he fell straight down the garage. Like he fell straight down under the garage. Like if you ever fell out of a map of a game, he said that's the same thing, except everything was white, and he was falling down with his back towards going downwards, and he was just looking at the garage getting smaller and smaller as he fell away from it. And then it stopped, like everything went black, and a news prompt guy comes up in his head and says, and that's why you shouldn't do drugs. And then he woke up, and he's just screaming his head off. Wow. And because he told me he felt like his head was spliced open still. Like he felt it when he woke up. And he said and he was really, really messed up about it. Because like a week after it happened, we were hanging out again, and he kept having like reoccurrence of it, like flashbacks to it, and it really, really did screw him up. Like,
wow, I didn't even know.
Yeah,
it
was
never
bad.
Told me about that.
It was bad. And
when was this?
Like last year, probably around like 3 or 9 weeks after, like maybe a couple weeks after Christmas.
That's around the time that me and him like.
It was like closer to the 4 or 9 weeks actually, but yeah.
Yeah, that was after the time where we started like separating as people.
And he actually still has his last flashback was probably at the beginning of the school year.
Damn.
And at first I thought it was with only me because that's when it would ever happen, when he'd hang with me. So that kind of screwed our relationship up like a lot. So now me and him don't even talk anymore because we just don't get along anymore. And but I felt thankful because I really did feel bad because I was just thinking like, oh my God, look what I did to him. I really felt bad, but it's not good that he was doing this, but it happened with other people. Like it did with my friend Noah and my friend Remy. It happened it was just all part of his head.
Yeah.
And,
it was just a bad time that
actually,
ruined friendships.
Yeah, it did. But he recovered. He recovered because he had a dream. This is what my friend Noah told me about. He had a dream which when his mom got killed by somebody, and he said, "I'm going to kill the person that killed you." And then his mom talked to him or something like that. A ghost talked to him and said, "No, you don't need to." And then he woke up crying, and then somehow that solved his bad trip. Drugs.
Drugs are weird.
Yeah.
And awesome. Be responsible. Do your research.
And make sure you're in a good place.
Yeah.
Really, really, like you're satisfied. Don't make sure there's like nothing that can
make sure you're with friends.
Yes.
And not people who screwed you over.
Exactly. Like it was really bad for us to be there.
Wow, that's freaking.
Yeah, I felt horrible. I really did.
Wow. I don't know what to say to that, to be honest. Like.
Yeah, it was.
That kind of blows my mind.
Well, that just says, like, I mean, we had to been close enough. Like, we were all best friends, so I can tell, like, when we did that, it really screwed them up. Like, you got to don't screw your friends over. Yeah. I learned my mistake. I'll never do that again. I won't. I'll cherish my friends for the rest of my life.
And you have to. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
They're the people who make your life better.
Exactly.
They're the people who make life worth living.
But the good note of that story, now Max is actually having a lot of fun with his life. He's getting a girlfriend soon. He parties a little bit. He seems happy. That's good.
As long as he is happy. I mean, I wish him the best. Yeah. I still hold on to the memories, and I look at him as a good person, and I have no malice towards him. And I think that's one good component of what being a good friend with a person is. Even if after they piss you off and you feel angry at them, you still want them to be happy in the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it sucks being an asshole to everybody. And it kind of sucks being, it sucks to be resentful to people who you had amazing times with, that shaped your life to make you the person that you are. And, I mean, you really shouldn't take friends for granted,
And don't be a dick to your friends.
Don't be a dick to your friends. Like, even if your personality, like my personality is the friend who is a smart ass dickhole that loves to correct people and loves to get into arguments.
And some people aren't like used to those friends. I am.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Because, I mean, overall, we're always going to still be friends. Like, I won't let that ruin anything.
Yeah.
But, and sometimes you have a friend like one of my close friends. Except he forgets it very easily. So I'll get an argument with him. But he'll get butthurt, and then like 5 seconds later he forgets.
Yeah.
So.
But, like, I mean, if that's kind of your shtick, like, be reasonable with it. Like, for me, you have to feel the waters with certain people.
Yeah. And
with certain types of humor.
Like, if some people are more sensitive to it, like, I'm very argumentative, like Raymond.
Yeah.
And kind of a smart ass sometimes.
It's great.
If some people are more sensitive to it, I try not to get to that level. I'll say something and I'll be like really rational and compliment them or be really nice. But yeah.
I usually don't give a fuck, so. If you disagree with me, I'll tell you you're an idiot, and I'll hear your argument out, and then I'll still call you an idiot at the end of the day. But that's because I'm right, because, perspective. Yeah. So yeah, friends. So you gotta have them.
Yeah, and I used to think like being alone was like the best option for me for a little while.
No.
But it's horrible because then you see like your old friends hang out with people and you're like, oh my god, you just envy them.
Yeah. You need that connection in your life.
Yeah.
So
like right now, my goal is I'm trying to just gain my identity back. But high school is probably not going to be the place. It's probably going to be college where I make new friends and everything. Yeah. So right now I'm just having to be patient and be kind of be with myself for a little while. I mean, I still have a little bit of friends, aka Raymond.
Hi.
And I reconnected with some of my old friends, Alex. Even though I don't like, he's special. He's special. Me and him just talk to a lot about cars, and that's about it. But cars are my passion. I love cars.
Yeah, cars is his passion. Pharmacy is mine. So
And it's really good to get into a lot of things. Like, I really need to make myself useful for a couple things. It's just so, I find myself, like, struggling to have a conversation with somebody because I'm like, I just have no idea what to talk to about.
Yeah.
But people who have lives, so-called, and people who go party, they talk about that. Like, they talk about how fucked up they get and everything. And so if you're just at home playing video games all day, odds are that's probably going to be the only thing you're going to be able to easily talk about.
But know what? There's another guy or girl out there who dedicates a lot of their time to video games. You just gotta find that person. You gotta make that connection.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta find that person.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta find that topic that you just are so passionate about that you could speak about on hours and hours. And I think that's how you make like best friends.
Yeah.
Is you find that person you can talk to for hours and hours.
And the more you experience things, the more like you get out there and try to have fun and experience new things, the easier it is to talk to people.
Yeah. You have more stories. You have more experience. You know.
And it kind of stinks for some people who don't have a car. Like, I didn't have a car for a really long time. And even now, I still use that much because I don't have any ideas to go do stuff. Well, luckily, my friend Raymond over here got me into this, so now this gives me something to do.
Yeah.
Maybe something to talk about every now and then, because we talk on a whole bunch. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of different topics.
Yeah.
That I'm interested in.
Yeah. I think that's about it for the friend part of the podcast. Part 1 going up on Monday. Part 2 is going to go up on Tuesday. That will be about familiar relationships. The good old mommy, daddy, stop beating me, please.